Three, two, one. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the Gonzo Experience. I'm David Gonzo Mamano with another, I know it's going to be great show every Wednesday morning. Today I have on the show, really he's become a friend, but I love his story because he raises his hand, calls himself an underdog, and 2 years ago was staring at an empty bottle of whiskey and turned his life around. I love people like this that can take a deep breath and just figure out, like, what do I need to do? What is the vision of what I need to be doing to really transform myself to the next level of using my gifts to not only help others, but to help myself. And that's what my next guest did, Ben Albert. Ben, welcome to the Gonzo Experience.
David Gonzo Mamano. I'm blessed to be with you today, man. I'm excited for our conversation.
Yeah, it's funny. Like if you said Ben Albert to me like 2 years ago, I would have been like, who? And now I feel like you're a good friend. I almost feel like you're a little brother. Like I'm just, like, I'm so proud of you. When I first met you, you asked me to be on your podcast probably about a year-ish ago. I was rooting for you because I know that you were really just, kind of beginning to make it happen at that stage. And now it's like I want to get on your calendar, and you're a busy man, and I'm happy for you. I think that's fantastic. So Ben Albert, before we dive into the interview, I usually don't read the bios anymore, like word for word. I kind of let my guests just kind of talk about themselves. But I do want to read this bio because it's a good bio. It's an important bio, and it's an impactful bio. So here we go. So Ben Albert, when COVID hit, Ben was furloughed from work. He found himself down and out, staring at an empty handle of Jim Beam whiskey. He was unemployed, depressed, and felt unworthy. Hesitantly, he opened up his MacBook and started reaching out to strangers on LinkedIn. This spearheaded his entrepreneurial journey. The rest is history. Now, Ben hosts a network of 5 podcasts called Real Business Connections, runs a massively successful marketing firm called Belbert Marketing, and has replaced his established sales income in just over a year. Ben found his way. Yes, we can all do this. It lights up Ben to help people just like you find your way. Ben loves to help business people find the essence of who they are and empower them and their companies to make their mark in this world. None of us deserve to feel small, unworthy, or invisible. This is why Ben chose a career in marketing. Ben has found in marketing, he has a unique opportunity to empower business people to reach the right community, the right clients, and the right partners who share the same beliefs and values as you. So you can scale above your highest potential, in turn, filling up your pockets and your soul. Once an underdog, now a successful entrepreneur, Ben is passionate about helping other underdogs achieve their dreams. Ben is on a mission to move the needle on 1 million careers, one conversation at a time. So there's a few things in there that stand out to me. You don't talk about like one client at a time or one, marketing campaign at a time. You talk about one conversation at a time. Why did you use the word conversation?
Yeah, because life's about having conversation. Life's about, as you talked about with the previous guest, making ripples. And a lot of people have a goal. For example, David Meltzer's on a goal to make 1 billion people happy. I don't need to reach 1 billion. I'd love to one day, but for today, if we can actually move the needle on 1 million careers, and it's going to happen one conversation at a time. It's going to happen with one-on-ones that create ripples to help more and more people. But since we all have different lives and different experiences, I like to take things case by case. I want to take a business case by case. I want to take a podcast case by case. I want to take a person case by case, and one conversation at a time. It's something you're doing, David. We can create those ripples that in turn will impact 1 billion, and not impact as in, oh, I like you. I like your car. I like your 6-pack. I'm going to hit like. I'm talking about actually impacting 1 million careers.
I love it. I love it. So now you have said, to me many times, and, you're a member of Utopia, our incredible networking organization. You've said it to Utopia members as well, that you view yourself as an underdog. Why is that?
Yes. So 2 years ago, David, I didn't know who I was either. As you mentioned in the bio, I was a little bit lost. And within my first year of entrepreneurship, I actually replaced my sales executive income. But it wasn't always like that. I was a hard case my entire life. And the bio was long, so I didn't touch on all of it in that blurb there. But the first 13 years of my life, I barely spoke a word. I was too afraid to ask to use the restroom that the lunch monitor would have to see me holding my crotch and be, little Ben, do you need to use the restroom? And then I would just nod. I loved chicken sandwiches, but I couldn't order one at Bill Gray's or any place I went because I couldn't open my mouth. So my parents would order it for me. So, needless to say, I was a quiet kid. I was the shortest kid in school, actually, second shortest to Olivia Lee, but the shortest boy. So, I felt small. I made myself smaller. I didn't think I'd amount to much. And honestly, the first 25 or so years of my life, I didn't amount to all that much. And it wasn't until we can get into it that I started to take massive action on a lot of the things I had been learning and started to find my purpose and my place that I'm a late bloomer. I wasn't the most likely to succeed in high school. So I see myself as an underdog, but I love growth driven people like yourself and your audience, whether they're 15 or 50, that are looking to level up because it doesn't matter when we choose to make that decision. As long as we make that choice, I'm confident we can be successful in everything we do in the future.
So now you're about 30, is that correct?
31. So I'm no
31.
longer, it used to be I just turned 30. Now I'm officially in my 30s.
You are deep in your 30s. Yes, the big 31. Yeah,
It
yeah.
feels that way. It feels
That's
that way.
well, it's funny that you didn't talk for the first 13 years of your life, and you even said that beyond that, you didn't feel like you were doing much with your life, and uh, but now for someone who didn't talk too much, having all these really a podcast network, you're talking all the time now. What happened in your life that kind of pushed you over the edge to be able to talk and not only talk but talk so much that you are known as a very proficient and popular podcaster?
There's a joke in psychology that people get into psychology or therapy or those kind of fields because they're trying to diagnose what's wrong with themselves. And I think in my case, I was a quiet kid, but I was a curious kid. I would see people like I imagine little David Mamano was the life of the party. And I looked up to David Mamano's and I could see what they were doing right, but I was too bashful to actually like open my mouth. And what happens is when you know the answer, but you're too shy or too anxious to actually live the answer, you actually start to have that shame or frustration and it stinks when you're like, "Oh, I know what to say, but it can't come out," and then you end up just silent. So when I was a kid, I was very observant, I was very curious, and I really cared about people because I was picked on and I knew what it felt like to be picked on, and I didn't want other people to feel that way. Around high school, I found the music scene, I found the music industry, and all of us will see this. When you find something you're passionate about, before you know it, you go from the quiet kid to the loudest person in the room because I loved my friends, I love musicians, and that's where the podcast came in a few years down the road into college after getting into the music scene in high school. What my place was never the person on the mic. I was never the leader of the group, but I loved amplifying other people's voices. I loved injecting steroids into a good thing. So a lot of my friends are in bands and I'm handing out flyers and basically baby steps of being more social. And it was easy to be social because I was endorsing something that I loved, which was music. Now in marketing, I get to endorse businesses that I love, but it was really just taking baby steps of being observant, being curious, then feeling a little bit of imposter and shame that, oh, Ben, you know the answer, but you're shy. Eventually, you're just like, no more. Like, let's let's do something about this. You get into the music scene, you get into anything that works for you in life, and day by day, just by working on yourself, it blows my mind who I was back then to who I am now. And to go back to my original statement, I feel like all the curiosity and the question asking and the podcast is still me trying to solve my own personal problems. But if I can solve Ben's personal problems and solve 10 more listeners' problems as I do it, I'm doing good in the world. So the podcast is really Ben's journey. And I like to document my journey to help other people because I guess people like to listen to it. I don't know.
They do. I do. You're a very good interviewer. You're on the caliber of me. Just kidding. I think you're better than me, buddy. I love you.
Yes.
Uh, well, I think by you doing what you're doing is, there's a saying that the best student is the teacher.
Mm,
So you're just reinforcing all the habits that you need to have in order to continue along your journey of success. And I have to imagine those feelings of little Ben, come back to you every now and then, and you have to grapple with those. And am I worthy of doing this? Imposter syndrome, like you said. But that all that stuff's not real. It's just fear and anxiety and BS entering your brain, and you can adopt the right mindset to battle those out of your head to be back to being the best Ben that you're supposed to be. Right. It's almost
hmm
like you have a responsibility to be the best Ben that you can be. Right. And otherwise, you're doing not only yourself a disservice, you're doing everyone else a disservice. Right. When you're not being your best, you're screwing us over, buddy. So I love that, you're doing what you're doing. And I love that in less than 2 years, really, you've gone from somebody that who knew Ben Albert besides his parents and some friends to like, oh my God, we're here in Rochester together. And you're like a name now. Like people like, you are well intertwined in the network of Rochester. So you're doing something right, and so keep on doing it. And I love it. What are some of the things that you do every day, just like kind of personal habits to make sure that you're being the best Ben that you could be personally, career wise, et cetera?
100%. So I first got it from Hal Elrod's
Oh,
Miracle
I
Morning.
love that you said Hal Elrod. Love him,
Has
love
Hal
him.
been on the show? He has been, right?
Hal's been on my show. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's actually become a friend. His book. I know you're going to talk about the Miracle Morning.
hmm
Is transformational. Absolutely.
I want to open this with I believe that there is no key, there's no one prescription, there's not a key to success. It's more a combination lock, and we all have our own combination. So I'm going to tell you what I do and what Hal does. David can tell you what he does, but find what works for you because everyone's going to have a different schedule, different life, different priorities, so on and so forth. So, what Hal does in the Miracle Morning, the acronym is SAVERS, and we'll just breeze through it. Silence, so like a moment of meditation or prayer, affirmations, I'm good enough now and I'm only getting better, and I am the man I was meant to be today. Things like that. I'm an open channel for creative ideas. Visualization, visualizing it, being a vision board. What I've learned is closing your eyes and actually feeling the emotion of the success that you're moving towards. The key with visualization is you have to take action. You can't just imagine a car and it lands in the driveway. But imagining the emotion so you can prepare yourself for that success. E is for exercise. Dude, just get your body and blood flowing. For me, it's just doing, 250 jumping jacks is my number right now. I do 250 jumping jacks in the morning. I said jumping jacks, but I actually meant jump rope. I was doing the jump rope thing as I said jumping jacks.
Yeah.
Jump rope. Um, Reading, preferably nonfiction, something that is growth oriented, something where you're learning. Inscribing is just a cheat sheet word for journaling. For me, it's keeping a gratitude journal. I write down 5 things I'm grateful for. I took something from Matthew Dix. He wrote Storyworthy. He calls it homework for life. Homework for life. And he does it at the end of the day. I do it the next day. It's writing down the most story worthy moment from your day so you never miss a day. So you can go back in your journal and know, oh, on this day, this was the most story worthy moment. And by writing down, doing your homework for life, writing down your story worthy moments, you have countless stories for every week. and you never miss a day, and you learn to be grateful for those little moments that even on boring days, you have great stories. I chug a glass of water as well, David. I have some nootropic medicine, some multivitamins. I reach out to one person each morning to help them. Usually it's to give an introduction, just say, hey, it's been a while. The easiest way to do this is to scroll to the bottom of your chat box, the bottom of your email, the bottom of your contacts. There's someone that you shared an Airbnb with once. There's someone that you met on a Zoom meeting just one time. They might need your help and they might miss you. So, reaching out to one brand new person a day. And this is all first thing in the morning, right, David? And this is what I do. Again, there's a lot of stuff involved. I'm not here to be prescriptive, but if I can do that in my morning, like I did this morning, I'm ready for this interview. I'm ready for fires that I might have to put out. I'm ready for things that are out of my control. But if I can control my controllables, which I've learned originally from Hal Elrod and I kind of adapted to make my own, if I can control those controllables, just imagine what we can accomplish long term.
Yeah, well said. And you look at a lot of the people that are just, frankly, superstars in the industry, the entrepreneurial world, the life improvement world, such as like, the Ed Milet's of the world, we'll say. And they talk about bookending their day, that they have a very strict morning routine. They're up early. And then before they go to bed, they do something as well, like just a rhythm, a pattern. That bookends so that they're in control, A lot of people will get out of bed and just zoom, start their day. And you're not
Mm-hmm.
putting yourself physically and mentally in the right shape and mindset where you're controlling the rudder of the day. And Hal Elrod, he talks about I mean, Hal, for those of you that don't know Hal Elrod, I mean, look him up. He's got a podcast. Go to his site, get his book, Miracle Morning. I read the one that he co-wrote with Cameron Herold called Miracle Morning for Entrepreneurs.
Love it.
But I mean, Hal has been through hell. Hal, first and foremost, got in this horrible car accident where he literally died. The doctors pronounced him dead for like, I don't know, it was like 5 seconds. And then he came back. And then in a terrible car accident, but then, moved his way back. And then in the housing crisis, I'll say the recession of 2008, 2009, his business literally collapsed. He was over $400,000 in debt, just bought a house, just got engaged, and was itself admittedly like suicidal. And that's when he implemented the Miracle Morning. And then got that going. And then the poor guy gets hit with a form of cancer where very, very few people survive. And he got through that as well. So this guy has been in the boxing ring with that like Russian guy from Rocky, pounded. And he, like Rocky, just continued to find ways to continue and fight back. And so a little shout out for Hal Elrod there, changing many, many lives, the Miracle Morning book.
Let me add just one quick thing to that, because one thing that's brilliant for me when I read it is the way he came up with the Miracle Morning. So he was trying to find the answer to, morning routines and success. And he found that there were multiple answers. Like I said, there's no key, there's a combination lock. And he implemented all six of them. Or six? Yeah, he
Yeah.
implemented all of them. Seven? Six? I can't do math.
I think
He
it's 6.
implemented all of it.
Yeah.
And between all these nuanced things that happen in these different categories, that's how he was able to remain so resilient and change his life. It was implementing what worked for him, but not just one routine. It's great to start with one, but multiple routines to really
Yeah.
get that holistic head and heart perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know a lot of people that just take breaks throughout the day and find a quiet place and do some deep breathing. Close your eyes, take 5, deep breaths, hold them. And that's a great way to kind of reset the day as well. And it really works. It really works. So what time do you get up?
Whenever I wake up.
Cool. I love that answer. This is the most honest answer I've ever heard.
It's funny because I think there's a common narrative that 4 a.m. I mean, Jocko Willink does it. 4 a.m. taking a picture of him, deadlifting at the gym, this is how you grind. People have different lives with different sleep schedules. As long as you're efficient, as long as you're happy, and as long as you're helping people, I don't give a shit when you wake up. I don't care when you go to bed. Do what's right for you. I'm a night owl, so I work into the night and then I wake up when my body's ready and I get going. But it's not 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. It's more like between 6 and 9.
Awesome. Well, I got this. We scheduled this for 10 a.m. So thanks for getting up early for me. I appreciate
I
it.
just rolled out of bed for this one. So
Yeah. So Ben, I really want to do on the show just because I'm just so impressed slash, proud of, like I said, you're almost like a little brother to me, and I love stories of, not only underdogs, but comebacks, and, you were down and out and now you're a very successful person, very well known and respected in the community, in your community of podcasting, et cetera, and the entrepreneurial community, and here in Rochester too. So, but before we go, I also want to talk a little bit about marketing because that's what you do, Belbert Marketing. And so, there are, everybody's, cousin and nephew is a digital marketer working out of their house these days, right? And they'll set you up on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and all that stuff, and they'll do some email marketing, maybe blah blah blah. So there's it's I don't want to say it's become a commodity, but it's become a commodity. There's so many people doing it, right? But some people do it very very well, like you get results, you have happy clients, you stand out from the crowd. So what are you doing as a digital marketer that maybe kind of separates you apart from the sea of sameness, we'll say?
Yeah. So for a thought experiment, imagine I can take you from 5 to 10. Person A can take you 5 to 10. Person B, person C, D, E, and F can all take you from 5 to 10. Why would you choose me? I think the key to that is because it's me. But why me? Why you? Why the listener? What is your differentiation? Why should someone choose you? I love the term I've been saying, human to human marketing. Humans sell to humans who fulfill orders for humans. Even all the technology and the AI was created by humans for humans. So don't treat yourself as just, hey, here's ads, here's buy from me. I'm the best. I'm the cheapest. I have the best value. Build a personal brand. If you're an entrepreneur, build a personal brand. If you're in a larger business, build an employee engagement team where within the business they're building personal brands and funneling opportunity and engagement into the larger organization. But the only reason someone's going to choose you other than person C is either drive, you either got to them first, or they chose you above all the other people in the sea of sameness because of you. Now, we can get into that if you'd like, but at the core, holistic, broad strokes, build a personal brand, be a giver, understand that humans buy from humans. And again, the know, like, and trust adage, if people know, like, trust you, but more than that, they trust that you can bring massive value into their lives, they'd be silly not to choose you over a competitor that has the same results, but they're still going to choose you.
Very well said. And just to sum that up, Gonzo family, I think what I know what Ben is saying is that anybody could go to Facebook and buy what they have. Anybody can go to Instagram and buy what they have, right? Anybody can help you create content, right? But so that stuff is out there. The tools are out there for anybody to use. But at the end of the day, people are choosing Ben or whoever they're using. And it's like other businesses too, because they know, like, and trust the person they're working with. They know that, Ben's going to be creative for them. They know that if Ben says he's going to do something, he not only does it, he does it very well. And he's going to go above and beyond. And so at the end of the day, it's like let's just say lawyers, like the law is the law, right? I mean, the laws are out there to interpret and administer in different ways, but you're going to choose a lawyer that like and trust. That like, all right, I know my lawyer John Smith, that he's going to get back to me within like a couple hours. He's going to do great work for me. I enjoy his personality, and he's very responsible, and he does a great job for me. So I can get any lawyer, but I'm choosing John Smith. I can get any digital marketer, but I'm choosing Ben Albert because I just enjoy the experience of working with him. And that's probably what you're saying too, is the experience, right? And
David, imagine John Smith gets the exact same results as I do, but he doesn't return your calls. He's not there. He doesn't send you a gift on your child's birthday. He doesn't show up to your wedding. And Ben does all those things and gives away free stuff and free gifts all the time to make you feel good about the whole process. Even though John Smith got just as good results, you're going to want to work with Ben because of the relationship you build.
Yep. 100%. Ben, that is very well said. Probably a great way to end this great conversation.
Awesome.
I like very much that you use that in your bio. So, and you're very good at conversations. So for somebody who didn't talk much as a kid, you really have excelled to the advanced course of conversations. So Ben Albert, Albert Marketing, people want to find you, get in touch with you. What are the best ways, my friend?
So I have a one-spot shop for everything. Balbert Marketing. So B as in Ben, Albert as in Albert Einstein, but a slightly higher IQ. So balbertmarketing.com/all links. So ALLINKS, 3 L's in there. I'm sorry, I confused you. balbertmarketing.com/all links. Podcast. I love LinkedIn, but I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, everything. Connect with me where you're comfortable. I'd love to make a friend. balbertmarketing.com/all links to do that.
Ben Albert, thank you so much. Truly, truly appreciate you sharing some heartbeats with us today.
Time flies when you're with David Mamano, so I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, sir. Wish you continued massive success. I also want to thank the Gonzo family for listening and maybe watching this. Yes, we're on YouTube as well. And as always, wishing you the best as the Gonzo family continues to thrive and grow. Honored to be a part of that. As always, as I always ask, please like us, share us, all that great stuff. Really appreciate you all. Every Wednesday morning, a brand new episode. So thank you, everybody, so much. Have a great day, and make sure to stay awesome.